Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Burton. We got an awesome show tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that's been on my mind for the past month or so, especially with the recent mayoral elections here in Atlanta. And that's about life after gentrification. You know, gentrification has been a topic that people have been talking about a lot over the past couple of years, with white folk moving in to push the black folks out and all that stuff. And I think right now we're at that kind of point where, hey, it's here and it's here, you know, in full throttle. And just have a conversation in regards to how I view moving forward things are going to be. I know me and Lab even had a conversation, you know, that night after they had the election in regards to sometimes people do certain things so you're not worried about another thing. So I just want to have an open discussion tonight about life after gentrification. Right now we're streaming live on all my platforms. You know, we also stream on my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. So we're streaming live on Change Your Lives, Mr. Short Dollar. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So we're probably on 12 different platforms right now.
Simultaneously.
Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. Hey man, before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producers, DJ Lab.
Thursday, brother.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Also, Slick 316. She's on Instagram, man. How you been doing, brother?
I've been good. Hey, you know, I just want to throw this out. What is it? 16 days till Christmas. That went quick. That year went quick, didn't it?
Shit, bro. Hell, I went through a divorce, had to pay all that damn money and shit. Shit didn't go quick with me. Feel like I was picking cotton. Shit. To you.
You know what I mean.
Hell no.
Christmas always come quick when you broke.
Well, shit.
The birthdays come quick, Christmas come quick. See, like it's one holiday after the next when you broke.
I think I gave my ex-wife Christmas every damn month
for the last year.
Shit. Mother, shit. She had her Christmas all the damn time.
Right.
But your boy back on the map. I'm back on top and everything. I'm excited about it, man. I'm excited about it. This is my first Christmas in over 20 years single. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cranking the fireplace in the basket rub. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Playing them classic Christmas soul music.
Yeah, pull out the Wild Irish Rose and the Bath and Body Work candles.
Not the Wild Irish Rose.
Yeah. Got that Bath and Body Work candle going on.
Right.
Yeah, it's a real romantic setting. Good fuck around. Well, man, I'm super excited about tonight's show with this information, man. But no, it's been a great year for me. I was just BSing. It's been an awesome year. Had a major setback, especially this time last year. Matter of fact, tomorrow will be 1 year I did my mediation.
Oh.
Yeah. Your boy was at rock bottom, 365 days. I can laugh about it now.
Right.
No. Well, a brother was kicking the rocks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean not.
He was in the tunnel with no light at the end of it. All you heard was a train.
Somebody throw me a raft or something. I can laugh about that shit now, boy. I was boy. But no, man. It's been a super year though, man. I'm super excited about everything going on in the future and stuff like that. But we'll also show tonight again. We're talking about life after gentrification. Again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Burton. Also streaming live on my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, because both of the topics, the topic coincides with both some of the things we talk about on both channels. So that's why I want to have that discussion tonight. Before we get started, I normally do rehash the previous week. Guys, remember we still out in the middle of the pandemic. We got Omicron going now.
The new variant.
Yeah, the new variant.
Yeah,
Omicron.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't as strong as the other variants, but it's still a problem.
Shit, man.
I think we need to get used to life with COVID. It's just gonna be just like the common cold.
Omicron. Shit, I seen dude walking out Cleveland Ave. He looked like Omicron. I ain't want to go to.
So when you talk to people now, you're gonna be like, man, I don't feel well. I think I got that Omicron.
How the hell they call these names, man?
That's what I want to know.
God, dog, man. But yeah, everybody be safe out there and stuff. Also remind everybody we do have a tax course, how to start your own tax business, a short dollar way. We had the links in the description section of the video, so make sure you check out the course. If you don't see it in the links right now, depending on what platform you're looking at, you can always go to the YouTube channel. Somebody said, "Hey Poochie," who was that? Hey Poochie over there? Okay. Oh, that's Donna. I'm like, oh, now that's on TikTok.
Who know me
Yeah, who know
that?
Poochie? Yeah, that's what's happening. What's happening, Donna? Hey, man, that's
Right,
what's
right,
happening.
right.
I don't really, you know, not too many people know me on TikTok.
Right, right.
I said, hey, Poochie.
That'll chase you down.
It's all
He's
G.
not safe nowhere. You're on the internet.
I appreciate you tuning in, Donna. But you know, what I about to say? Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, with the course, you can always, if you don't see it, anything, you can always Google Mr. Short Dollar. The main hub of all our information is on the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we have over 300 videos. This page is also over 300 videos on changing lives as well. And the course, the links for the course is there. And been working on that course for over a year and a half, been almost 2 years, and is here right now. So guys, check it out. Also, you guys know tax season around the corner. I am hiring for tax preparers. Make sure you hit. I had a. I couldn't. I was looking for the link earlier. I was just telling everybody. You know, you just shoot me an email. You can go to info@majesticbiz.com. You can. All of my links are in the description section of the videos. But just matter going to the YouTube channel. Looking into one of those videos. All my contact info there. So if you want to have a job as a tax preparer, I've been in business 20 years. I am hiring right now. But if you want to start your own tax business, you're interested in starting your own business, I have the whole course how to start your own tax business right there waiting for you guys. Guys, we had 3,100 subscribers for Changing Lives.
Mm-hmm.
We want to end the year at 3,500.
Right.
Please help me reach that goal. So if you can do it, you know, we got a couple weeks. We want to try to hit 400 subscribers. I believe. If I believe, you should believe, then we all can believe. There you go.
It can happen. It will happen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Happen.
There you go. Just gotta get the verbiage together.
That's right. But,
you know, so we get, you know, we can do that. I'll be so excited. We had 20,600 subscribers for Mr. Short Dollar, and man, that's been awesome because hell, you know, we started off with 2,000.
2,000.
And you know, and I'm expecting a very big 2022 next year and stuff. So I do want everybody to remind everybody before we get started with the show, we're all gonna do a big pivot with Changing Lives. Changing Lives. It's been mostly motivational channel, this, that, and that. We're going to still have the same motivation information and personal development, but I'm going to do a whole lot more interpersonal subjects, you know, parenting, relationships, divorce, just a lot more life stuff, you know, and where I can be, you know, even more transparent with myself and everything. So I'm super excited about the direction we're going to Changing Lives and stuff.
That's right.
We're going to go there. And guys, I know you guys have noticed this is part of the Nubian Christmas line. You can go to my store. I know on all the videos, you can go to Mr. Short Dollar. The link on the YouTube, you'll see the link for my clothing line for Mr. Short Dollar. If you go to that store, you should be able to hit the Madame Burdan. Yeah. This is my Nubian Christmas line.
Right.
And everything.
You wore it last week, but you didn't say
my dumb ass. Yeah, I had one on last with my white sweat top with the family picture, but I named it Nubian Love.
Nubian Christmas love.
Nubian Christmas love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Where's the mistletoe? You need to have a mistletoe above.
Well, you know, I got the one I'm gonna wear next week. You know, the girls with the big booties and the mistletoe and everything. You know, I got those. All that part of the Nubian Christmas line. So go to Mr. Short Dollar. Hit on the
blue
links.
flame edition.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Shout out to my girl April Showers, man. We went out Saturday, man. We all hung out, man. Shout out to the class of '95 Harper High. We all hung out last Saturday, man, and we got detoured, man. We all went to the Flame and hung out, and everything we didn't go, but we had a good time, man. Seeing everybody had a blast, hanging out with my people, man, and stuff. So, but I'm super excited, brother. I'm super excited. Like tonight's show, this is a topic that I want to have a conversation with. So, guys, check this out. I want to have a lot of interaction with tonight's show. I know everybody got a lot of comments and questions about what's going on and stuff like that. So feel free to chime in at any time. And again, we're talking about life after gentrification. Okay. Now, listen, man. The reason why I brought this up, I got a good stick tonight, lad. I ain't gonna have no problem.
Last couple sticks you've been fighting with.
Shit like matches.
that
Start it up, go right out.
stick right there,
But
smoking, ain't
yeah, it's a good one.
it? Okay.
The thing I want to talk about, what had me thinking this was when me and Lab was talking about, you had the Atlanta mayoral race. Andre Dickens won. He beat
Mhm.
out God, I'm about to get
Felicia
it now.
Moore.
Felicia Moore,
Right.
which has been a long-standing city councilman in Atlanta. And one of the things, and I don't think this was I do not think this is one of the reasons why she didn't win. I just thought it was just crazy. It came out near the end of the election. They were saying that she was against strip clubs.
Right. I
She was
saw that.
against strip clubs and studios. And she had Ti was doing. He came out and she said that caused things to pivot. I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that had anything to do with. I don't think it was very impactful in the way things happen. But it just coincidentally came, and that's that game in politics.
Right. Right.
When they brought all that stuff with Kasim Reed and the lady out
Mhm.
there in Vine City, I mean, nobody had no problem by that. So you'll
Right.
play them down games, shit, when
Right.
it don't work for you.
Right.
We can't call, we can't just, cry foul about
Got to
it.
bow gracefully.
Exactly. The flip side of that is, I will say this, like going to the top we're talking about today with gentrification. And we know that gentrification is, in a nutshell, where you have, just in generalization, you have a lot of whites that are moving back to Atlanta, and you have people that in the black communities or impoverished communities, they're being negatively affected because you're having people come back in, buying things in low income area, buying assets, buildings, or homes in low income areas, building them up, raising the property value, squeezing them out,
Hmm.
without pushing them out.
Right.
And that's been happening all over West Atlanta. I think it's been happening nationwide in cities everywhere. And what I wanted to have a discussion, because my thing was to bring up the whole point of the strip clubs and the studios. I was just like, man, what the hell black folk priorities at?
Right.
Because in my mind, I'm sitting here looking like, okay, is this probably will be, and I might be in the minority. I
Hmm.
don't care. I think this is probably going to be the last election for a while in Atlanta where you're gonna have two black major candidates,
Yeah.
because the demographics have changed like they have in most cities. Most of your predominantly black neighborhoods are going to be, especially within the next 4 years, from most of the developments being finished, probably predominantly white
Hmm.
neighborhoods. And with that, not even just predominantly white neighborhoods, they're going to be predominantly white voting neighborhoods.
And a little bit more wealthier. You got to think about the price of these houses. You buy land in impoverished neighborhood for $50,000, put a $600,000 house on it. You know what I mean? So
No,
you raising them taxes.
I don't think a little, no in hell, way more wealthier.
Right.
They building $400,000 condos right there on Bankhead.
Hmm.
By my little 3 bedroom, 2 bath house over
Right.
there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just no, brother. It's gonna be a whole lot more different.
Right.
I see that just what I have to pay in property taxes over there for the house I got over there. The thing of it is, and I go back to say that we'll talk about life after gentrification. What is it going to look like? What direction do we go into? Because, like I said, this mayoral race, and I think I don't know the brother. I have a dog in the fight because I don't live in the city of Atlanta. I think the brother do well. I wish him well,
Hmm.
but I just think that, I don't. He may have a plan on how things are going to go,
Hmm.
but I'm just saying that in terms of the actual demographics of what's there,
Hmm.
I think that's changing so much. The things that used to be
Important.
importance to people, is going to change, because
Hmm.
I think the people that's in those communities, they can give, especially 4 years from now, they can give a damn about a strip club
Hmm.
or a studio.
And that's
Yeah,
true.
they're going to be really, really focused on property value and
And they
school
and they
systems.
consider strip clubs a part of the problem. They consider strip clubs bringing down their property values. I think that strip clubs and whatever they did for that, it is what it is. We should have been more focused on affordable housing in the neighborhood, because there's still going to be some people who live over there who can't afford to move, but still need some place, uh, affordable to live. So
I am about that affordable housing shit.
yeah, I mean,
That,
affordable to people who making a certain amount of money, not
what
affordable to somebody making $700,000. We talking about somebody affordable, somebody making 28,000 or less.
I want somebody to come out with, stop saying affordable housing, come out with a number. We're gonna have affordable housing. Just say, okay, we're gonna be renting our houses for five, six, seven,
From
eight, nine
yeah,
dollars a month. Throw the
right,
number out there, because that affordable housing shit is a relative term,
right.
and,
It
and
just makes it sound. It just glosses over the problem.
it's politically correct to say
Right.
that. So you sit there and say, okay, we're gonna have affordable housing over there, and people don't necessarily know what the hell that means. It sounds good, yeah, that's right, man. They're gonna have affordable housing. The fuck, excuse me, what is that?
But yeah, your affordable housing and my affordable housing may be two different affordable houses
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because we on two different separate scales of the other income bracket. I mean, a person making 40,000, the person making 25,000, their affordable housing gonna be a little bit different.
Well, I ain't heard nobody come out and ask that damn question. That's the
Right.
point I'm getting at.
It
Like,
should be a sliding scale. I think, me personally, if I was renting out apartments, and I used to do this, so I can talk about it. If I was renting out apartments, I would do it based on income sliding scale.
well, they probably got that layout, but it still go back to if you base it on income, you base it on whatever you base it on. What's the number gonna be? So when I'm talking about the rent number, so when we start talking about affordable housing, we still back in the gray of what the hell is that?
Right.
Is that $500, $800, 900, 1,700?
Right.
Nobody has set that out. And if it have, I apologize, but I ain't seen it.
And I even saw, and Slick just mentioned this, I even saw somewhere where they was talking about rebuilding Bowen Home as affordable housing, keeping the street names and stuff like that. So
They put it out yesterday. They had the one he posted that in regards to they had a Zoom call about they were naming they keeping the same streets and stuff like that.
but is that going to be affordable? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to think about these things. Just because you keep, I mean, I have no dog in the fight. I'm not from Bowen Home. I'm not even from Atlanta. So me talking about it, I don't even live in the city of Atlanta. So me talking about it is just that, me talking. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think that keeping the street names is cool. It is what it is. It's nostalgia.
I give a damn about keeping Wilk Circle. Wilk Circle,
I
man.
Get it. It's nostalgia, but I think that in that aspect of that, in the spirit of Bowen Home, you probably should have of housing that is based off of income sliding scale. It's just the way it is. Better housing in the back, more affordable. I mean, more expensive. I mean, you got to mix the community up a little bit, but you're not gonna have people making $1 million living over there, of course. But at the same time, if rents are affordable to where certain people who live in the neighborhood can still afford to be there, then I think you're accomplishing your goal.
Shit, let me tell you something. I've been on the west side, man. You got apartments rented for $1,200, $1,300, 1 or 2 bedrooms, and it still look like you're in down Beirut. Right. So I'm just sitting here like, damn, they done tried that experiment. Mm-hmm. So this affordable housing stuff, I'm just like, I mean, we just gonna be real, man. That's what we're gonna be doing on Change Your Life. Folks ain't trying to keep up with the shit they got. Mm-hmm. You want everything, but you don't want to do the stuff to keep it. Right. We want to keep this black neighborhood or whatever, and these people trying to push it out. But you keep tearing your shit up. Mm-hmm. You don't need white folks moving in for you to start acknowledging white folks trying to take our stuff. When you had it to yourself, you didn't damn keep it. Right. We're not talking about children. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to go with this holier than thou type stuff. But shit, at the end of the day, are we pushing? The narrative is always like, we getting pushed out of neighborhoods. We don't know. I mean, now at the end of the day, when you see folks drop shit on the ground and do certain things, because ain't nowhere in the hell. We've got this mixed-use community. That was the whole thing we look at. Mm-hmm. That was going up, and I'm paying $1,500, $2,000 a month. And this person, I'm not saying the person that's paying less gonna take less care of it, right. But shit, we've seen this movie before. Right. We have seen this movie before. So at the end of the day, I remember Kasim Reed came out a couple years ago. He's like, well, it inspires people that if you see, if you're in a mixed use of kids seeing, okay, I'm in this area, my parents are paying less rent. We can inspire you to do that. I don't know about that shit. I don't know about that. Right. You sitting there, you don't work hard, you paying all this money in rent, and you got your cousins down the hall cutting the hell up and not, man. Shit, yeah. Like I said, I've seen this movie before. Right. And we can sit here and try to be proponents of, hey, let's do this and let's do that. And I'm all about being fair, but I'm 150% about being real. Mm-hmm. And too often, people want to sit here and look at and fuss about what people not doing for them. But then when they got stuff, they don't want to call people to task to say, hey, man, you messed this neighborhood up. Because if the guy next door selling dope, or you see around the corner, something that's coming to hindrance, we don't want to tell, we don't want to snitch. Right. But it's tearing your neighborhood up. Right. But shit, you don't want to say nothing about it. But first time you see the white man coming there, we're going to say something to him. That's a problem. White man's supposed to be checked. But the dude doing all this other stuff, breaking in and stealing, he's supposed to be checked too. But we won't say shit to him. Right. You know, and I think those kind of conversations, because they're uncomfortable, nobody want to have it.
Mhm.
But by the time, was that Belvini, brother? But by the time you want to
I
address it,
can't mess
did you
with.
want to shot, man?
I can't mess with that snake bite.
Come on, man. I had a lab drinking that scotch last week, boy. Lab I get on the ones and twos on me.
I was.
I thought lab I started scratching up in here. But you know, when we start looking at it in regards to how we feel that people can, uh, we want people to come and help our communities. Shit, we don't let this shit went all kind of ways.
Yeah.
I'm all about holding people to task. I'm all about checking police brutality and all that other kind of stuff. I'm all about it. But at the end of the day, you know, you see the other side of it is you're not policing your own neighborhoods.
Hmm.
You're not. You're not. Neighborhood hot as hell, getting broke into. I mean, shit, you got some places like Gangland,
Hmm.
USA. You got your neighborhoods like that.
I
And
mean, that's not even that part. Let's start on the facts that you got mama's house and grandma's house, and y'all living in there, but ain't nobody paid the taxes on them, the property taxes.
man, I had a conversation with one of my partners today about that. You know, just that
When
whole.
grandma was there, you didn't help her pay the property taxes on either. You get what
But
I'm saying?
hey, but folks now go on bananas. Let me tell you something. I I don't give a damn looking at this show, but it's funny how when I had a house that was valued at probably $12,000
Uh huh.
about 15 years ago, nobody cared about the raggedy house.
Right.
Now the house over 200, everybody wanna,
Want to know what's going on?
yeah, what going on with the house and what going on? Shit,
Nothing.
you shit like
Same
damn.
thing was going on when it was $12,000.
Same thing, same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Hit dog and holler. So
Right.
you know I'm getting these inquiries like, the hell you care for?
Right.
You know, and you know, yeah. I don't think I bring up hell. The property tax used to be 300, now it's 2,500.
Right.
Want to help?
That's when you get
But
the oh
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
but to that point, like we're going back to what I'm saying, we talk about the whole gentrification. The one side of it is where it's like, okay, you do know there are elderly people that are being squeezed out of on fixed incomes, where their income, the property tax was from here to there. I I do want to know. I want to say this. What I do want to know is because with homestead exemptions and different kind of things set up, I want to do. I do really want to know how impactful that stuff is now, as far as that, because once you have that elderly homestead exemption, you really ain't damn paying the damn thing, really, for your property taxes. I'm just
Well, you still it's
you paying
amazing.
something, but you're not.
You still got to pay them school taxes. That's majority of your taxes.
What I'm saying, that's part of your property taxes.
Right.
You know, so you're paying out on your property taxes, but you got your homestead exemption. Then once you get to that elderly exemption,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is minimal.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I know they're not paying what the hell I'm paying.
Right. Right.
I don't have the homestead exemption or the private or the damn homestead exemption or the elderly exemption.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I would like to have some kind of conversation with somebody to say, okay, look, this is how much they're coming out of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying with that, but. I think the narrative get pushed because it's far too often it's a reactive narrative.
Mm-hmm.
White folks trying to come in here, they're trying to take this, they're trying to take that. You can't take what the hell I'm trying to keep.
Right.
You can't take what I'm gonna fight to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take what I asked, what you can take what I've been pushing off, and now I'm getting serious at the last minute. And you
Mm-hmm.
catch my ass, I'm so damn far behind or so uncaught up. You can take that then.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm top of my stuff, you can't take it, right?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a gun in your house, the robber can't come in there and take your shit, right?
Right. He can try.
Yeah, he can try.
Right.
But if you know that you got potential robbers coming and you got your door wide open,
Mm-hmm.
you sleeping, you know, you don't got drunk, got air gate, you got your night visors on and everything like that.
Right.
You know, you slipping,
Right.
right? And I think that's what's happening a lot in our community because people have not done a good job of trying to keep what they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have all the rap songs. What's the narrative now? Buy back the block and buy this, that, and that.
Mm-hmm.
Get into real estate. And I be like, man, that ain't in your world.
Right.
That ain't in your world. I remember years ago going to folks, hey man, let's get together and let's, buy this, that, and that. Nah, they ain't my studying that. You know what I'm saying? Because what we find out real quick, and this is where everybody, we're in this fix or flip society. Lab using real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about it, you look at them damn shows, we're gonna buy some houses,
Mm-hmm.
flip it up, this, that, and that. And then when you really get into the shit, and you see like, damn man, I don't put this money up for this house. Then Cole gotta watch it. Then 30 days, gotta examine it. Then 30, they found something. Then 30 days later, it's not uncommon for your house to be caught up 90, 6 months, 90
hmm
days, 6 months. And
and
you
I've worked in it. I was working with somebody who was flipping houses before flipping house was a thing. I learned
mhm.
from him how that worked. The problem, I mean, I've seen one of his houses sit for a year waiting on inspections in City of Atlanta.
Yeah.
A year, not able to sell it, not able to do nothing, but still paying that mortgage on it and waiting on it to be able to be sold for one thing, because he made so many changes to it. I mean, I remember just on the flipping thing, they show you the glorious part of it. But I remember being in his front yard and the inspector coming and telling us he had to run a water line to the main line because it busted because the house been so old. It was copper piping. He had to put a new piping. And the inspector, the city basically telling us you can't cut the roots of that tree right there because it's been out here for over 100 years. So we literally had to dig by hand under the roots of the tree to run the pipe. Those are things they don't see. They don't show you.
And the flip side of it is you gotta wait another 30 days when they free for the inspector to come
Right.
back
And you
out
got to
and
keep
look at
that
that shit
open.
again.
You got to keep
Yeah,
that
yeah.
open during the wintertime to show them that how the pipe is. Make sure the pipe is right, is connected, and the roots ain't cut. All that.
That's one of the things. Like again, I feel like uh, we get caught up into thinking about how certain things can be fixed in regards to fix a flip. You can
Mm-hmm.
buy this kind of real estate to do that, but people don't really want to make that kind of damn commitment when they
Mm-hmm.
start seeing it, because now it takes that key word of commitment. You thought that you could get into real estate and flip, and you thought flip was a quick thing. You ain't flipping real estate like you're flipping dope.
Right.
This gonna take some months to do.
Once you buy the house, you still got to invest in the house.
Mm.
So you buy that $100,000 house, you still got probably 15 to 20 more thousand put inside of it.
How often? What I never see, lab. This is what I never see, and I'm not saying it ain't out there, but in all these real estate guru videos, none of these real estate guru videos, I see that you buy the house, put this into the house, fix it up. Now the new value is this. You can rent it out for that. I see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I never seen one damn video in regards to the time frames.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have not seen. Like realistically,
Right.
this is gonna take 1 month. This is gonna take 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna take 4 months. I've never seen that in the video. I'm not saying it ain't out there.
Right.
I'm not saying it ain't out there, but majority of videos I ain't seen a damn thing in regards to the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Always the positive part of how much money you can make.
Mm-hmm.
Always like the
Always.
mathematically, but the time frames it's gonna take you to do it.
That money you got sitting out there, and you got to leave the walls open because you got to get electrical, especially because you had to run all new electrical in the house, and the inspector can't get out there for 2 months because it's only him in the city of Atlanta. He can't get out there for 2 months to inspect the house. So you got to leave the walls open. You can't put drywall up. You got to leave. So the drywall man to push back all that because you got to leave that electrical open so he can inspect it. Those things are setbacks.
All the while, your ass paying a damn hard money loan.
Exactly.
You paying the notes on the hard money loan, so you kicking out $3,000-4,000 a damn month on this damn note, and you hadn't even got an opportunity to get it to a certain point where you can refi. So that's the things about it. I think that whole side of it. Now, if that's your world, and you know how to do that kind of stuff. So again, we start talking about the aftermath, the life after gentrification. Um, how is it looking? How are people adapting? How are people reacting?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that the whole thing about it is I always had a problem with the word of gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I just felt like people just the black neighborhoods in Atlanta, Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
Houston, Dallas, did they get gentrified, or did we just do a bad job taking over? Because number one, nobody don't really still want to admit
Mm-hmm.
the effects of crack cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we can say, okay, well, the government put the money, this, that, and that. We can go through all them theories, but we don't really want to think about, because we all remember what, especially you grew up in the '90s. Most of us, either our parents were on dope or we were selling dope.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. So anybody from, let's say you go from 65 to 70,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to maybe 35.
Mm-hmm.
Either your parents or you was in some way impacted by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people, either your parents on dope, you got locked up selling dope, your baby was born with dope. All these kind of things happen those, probably 3 generations.
Mm-hmm.
And people really don't like talking about it.
Right.
Because if you grew up in the city, most of the time, it wasn't even 6 degrees of separation. Somebody was affected with drugs that were close to you. And that was very major impactful because, again, you lost a lot of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You lost a lot of brain power and a lot of money with that.
Somebody on Instagram say, "What's up, Astros? We talking money."
Astros.
Yeah, you're not an Astro.
Ain't no Astro here. I'm a Harper High Trojan, baby. But I got love for Doug. I stayed down the street from Doug. Harper High Trojan up in here. Extra protection.
But I can tell you from my experience, my grandmother had a house, a 2-story, 3-story brownstone in West Side Chicago. West Side Chicago now, you can't get a house for less than $400,000 now. One of them brownstones. Now, I'm not talking about a brownstone. I'm talking about all brick, all full size, sandstone porch, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't do a good job of taking care of it and keeping it. I wasn't living there then, but you get what I'm saying. We had family that didn't. They lost that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now they probably be sitting on $1 million with just that building alone because how big the lot was. She owned a lot next to it, which used to be a vacant house. But
y'all still got it?
No, we lost. Yeah. They lost it all. But just what I'm saying, she owned a lot next to it, which used to be another brownstone, but they tore it down a long time ago. I don't even remember that house ever being there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 51 years old.
Gotcha.
They tore that house down. She owned that lot next to it, her lot. So, she had a lot of land in the city of Chicago for the West Side of Chicago. Lost it all. Now, I went back and looked at that house maybe a year or two ago. They were selling it, and it was tore up. I mean, no fixtures in it and anything. And it was $300,000.
I'm the only one out of all my friends I think still own the house I grew up with our Bankhead.
Right.
For whatever reason, sold it, lost it, whatever. I think I'm the only. I'm pretty sure it's some more, but my close crew, I'm the only damn one.
Right.
I'm the only one, and I just think I look back at it, people just weren't in a. We can go through all what people didn't do. I do not see any situation where somebody got bamboozled. I see some people maybe did like interest only loans and all that. They just didn't know the vision, but I look at it like this, man. In your life, people are gonna weigh carrots in your face, and they gonna, at the end of the day, you ain't gotta be hungry. Sometimes you just being greedy, and whatever choice you made, just say if you was hungry, if you made the decision to do that, the residual of it. If somebody gave you something right quick for $50,000, I get calls every other day. We got a cash offer on the house. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm cool.
Right.
But if I was hungry, I probably take them up on that. I get that part, but a lot of times that ain't the case. Cause we see that just even what happened with everybody was getting that PPP,
right,
and that disaster money. All that money went to rooms to go in the car dealerships.
Yeah.
I make some folk cry now.
Right.
But again, you wonder what were people thinking.
Right.
With doing it, because now it's like a blame game, because now everybody is stuck. Now you don't have any kind of you're looking at it because when you have property, when you have capital, when you have money, you have a bigger voice. Let's be fair. Like now everybody should have this. Now at the end of the day, you carry more weight the more you have. And at the end of the day, people want to try to, I think, try to acquire certain things and do it. But to your point we spoke on earlier, nobody tried to do a good job of keeping shit.
Right.
Everybody had a house. Everybody had a car. You life those curveballs and you lose stuff. I get that. Lord knows I know. But at the end of the day, we got to be realistic about what we have and what we own. And then we make an honest effort to try to keep it.
Right.
And now you see all over the nation, all these black communities we've lost, and people have moved in and tripled the value of the properties. And we like, man, this is crazy. They did that. You just noticing it. And my whole thing is, what did you do to keep it? Well, I didn't know. We know that there is no excuse for ignorance.
They can triple the value of the neighborhood by reinvesting in the house and remodeling, doing something. You could do the same thing. You might not do it on the same scale, but you start fixing up the neighborhood one house at a time, then that becomes, that drives up the property value. But to me personally, this is my own personal opinion. I think some people take pride in living in the hood. I think they don't grow up from it. They love it so much that they don't have any, inspiration to try to make it better, make the property better, because it's the hood, living in the hood, all this other stuff. Some people just never grow out of it.
Yeah, we all know here, everybody have, not everybody. I'm sorry, a lot of people have narrow lenses, but that can be in any situation. Just say if you grew up in Beverly Hills, you just, you're fortunate enough to grow up in there, but your lens be your lens as far as how you see certain things. A lot of times people can't see that. Exposure is very important to be able to get out somewhere and see certain things, and then once you get exposure, you can get the confidence of knowing that, hey, this is attainable. We're doing it. I get that part. But still going back to at the end of the day, when you know, and a lot of times people they're going because again, this is not going to be a show. I'm just going to just sit here and complain and acknowledge. I'm going to give my solutions in regards to how things I think people can do to got to be able to keep things once you attain them. Because again, we talking about life afterwards, and
Gentrification didn't just pop up. They were planning this for years. There's some
well,
certain meetings you have to go to figure it out.
mm, whatever I wrote all that down too. And so when we start talking about those particular things that what people feel like, okay, this is why it happened, and they were pushed out. How could you avoided it? What could have been done differently? And then what can we do going forward, looking at how things are going to be in a whole different light? Again, I am Deontay Burden. This is Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Burden. I'm streaming live on both my YouTube channels, Change the Lives, and also Mr. Short Dog. On Change the Lives, we talk about motivational personal development, family, parenting, marriage, just a whole lot of stuff that, just for the common person to help you develop and grow. And also, Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. So I'm streaming live on both channels right now because of tonight's subject in regards to life after gentrification. So you say, Pooch, look,
One quick. Angela Burt says hello.
hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in, baby. I appreciate everybody's tuning in tonight. So then we start talking about little Pooch, man. You bringing all this kind of stuff up. You know what's happening. Me and my girl April had a good conversation yesterday.
Hmm.
I tried to get her to come on the show because April's always everybody's campaign
Right,
and
right.
doing stuff. But she was like, Pooch, you just need to get some solutions, and I can give solutions. But I always say my solutions ain't microwave
Right.
solutions, so that kind of deters everybody. But things that I think that we probably could have been done, or things that can be done to keep certain things. And I have three key things that I believe in. That first one being education. I think when I say education, I'm not necessarily talking about going to get your degree or going, sitting in about a brick and mortar classroom. I'm just talking about more so learning what you can and can't do. I think a lot of times people don't understand their options of you know how certain things going. To your point, going to the NPU or neighborhood planning unit meetings, being active in your local city and county government, understanding what's going on and what you can be doing to which is possible, what's not possible. I don't think a lot of times people want to take time to do that.
Hmm.
Well, like I said again, we're in a reactive society.
Hmm.
So once we find out, because we don't vet the politicians, and you see that from the voter turnout. We didn't want Trump in, so we voted.
Right.
You didn't have a predominantly a white candidate in the city of Atlanta mayors, so people just kind of like you let it fall how they make.
Hmm.
They had a black person that don't want to win, they might kind of have a little surge here and there, but overall, people not trying to learn.
Hmm.
People not trying, and at the end of the day, that's accepted. This is the problem to me. It's accepted that people not trying to learn or be involved, and the folks that not trying to do it but complaining ain't called out.
Hmm.
That's the damn problem. You be whining and bitching about stuff ain't going your way, but what are you doing differently to try to change it? That's the problem. And the key is once you've been educated, you know about and you know how things go. You'll be realistic of the opportunities you have. Right? It's amazing how people found it advantageous to apply for the PPP and the disaster loan once they knew the opportunities were there. Keep in mind, black folks, we so behind the curve in regards to grant funding, federal funding, contracting opportunities.
Hmm.
We so far behind. There's tons of it.
Right.
But when there the accessibility of the auto loans and the PPP loan was so easy. Your normal government opportunities take, there's usually what 50 page application.
Hmm.
Most folks don't want to look through that.
It's 50-page application is just the tip of the iceberg. You got to go through the process of figuring out what grant applies to you.
Well, shit, man. Yeah, we posting grant opportunities on the YouTube channel all the damn time, man.
Right.
Nobody want to go out there and read that shit.
Right.
Go out there and read the requirements and all that.
Right.
People do not want to do it, and because you don't want to do it or put effort in, and you just want this, you're gonna get a residual of that.
It's easy to get the PPP because there really was no requirement. There was no stipulations or guidelines based on the grant itself or based on getting the money itself. Most grants, and I know because I got one for college.
Mm-hmm.
Most grants, you have to have a certain criteria that they go by in order for you to apply within that box for that grant. One step, when I did it, one step outside that criteria, you don't qualify. So it's a very strict criteria, very strict requirements based on what they tell you that they need and how they need it and when they need it.
Yeah.
This is being because that money does not have to be paid back.
Yeah.
I went through 7 years of college on a grant. I went through, they pay for everything, but I had to stay within those stipulations.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna front and act like if I didn't get the grant, I wouldn't have went to college. It's just that simple. Nobody in my family had money to afford that. So those are things that those stipulations I had to make sure I walked that tightrope.
Well, say like, because when the 100 we deal with grants. I'm a board member of 100 Black Men, and we talk a lot about the grants that's for what's called deliverables,
Mm-hmm.
where they want to make sure that each grant that they give us, be it from whatever organization, we actually doing certain things, talking to these many children, going to these many schools,
Mm-hmm.
ABC, whatever. From that, the flip side of it is before we even get started, what you're talking about, that you had to stay in those guidelines and make them deliverables. You had to go through the BS to fill out that application. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I could post a grant that asking 30 or 40 questions. Why I got to fill all that out? Why I got to?
Right.
Yeah, and people don't want to do that. And so that's where we start going back, getting educated, knowing your opportunities. Those are the kind of things I think people really, again, because you don't want to make that extra effort to keep what you have. And you see, you have communities that are predominantly black, that are high end communities, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because those people are very, very diligent about a certain standard being kept.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let certain things happen.
Mm-hmm.
People knock HOAs, but on the flip side of it is HOAs are also to keep a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a lot of BS in between, but the standard is kept.
When it's
And
done right.
when it's done right,
Right.
and that's any kind of structure.
Mm-hmm.
You hope that the people in charge are going to do the right thing and stuff. But a lot of times people want to avoid that kind of stuff because it's what structure.
Structure. Yeah.
We don't want, you can't tell me what the hell to do. This is my damn house. I do what the hell I pay my. I get it, even though you knew it was like that before you moved in.
Right.
Excuse me, but people don't necessarily want to deal with that. So I think that first part, that piece of education, knowing what's available, because once we know, we can be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
We can when we talk about intentional ignorance.
Right.
People don't want to read it. People don't want to look into it because from that point forward, people can say, "Well, shit, you knew that,"
Mm-hmm.
but they cannot play like that. Really matters. It doesn't matter, but for you internally, you can feel like, okay, I didn't know, and they just surprised me. Nah, how the hell you didn't know?
Right.
You got city council meetings. You got county commissioners meetings. You have your state of the union from your governor, from your president.
Mm-hmm.
People don't try to find out what's going on until something negatively affects them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I just want people to kind of just know that whole education piece. The second piece is understanding how politics work. I think one class I think people skip out a lot in high school was, and people say, yeah, school ain't important to do this. People need to know civics.
Mm-hmm.
People need to know how their government works.
Mm-hmm.
People complain so much about Barack Obama, and I understand the difference of what the president, his role and how he impacts it is such a small bit in regards to what their local politicians, the
Mm-hmm.
local city council, city, county, and state politicians impact their lives on a much greater scale
Right.
than anybody in the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
And people just don't want to take the time to understand politics at all. You need to know your local politicians.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know them. You need to have, some kind of relationship in regards to, it don't have to be, you need to be pen pals so they know who you are personally, but something where you can know, like, cool, this is where I stand.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they fit in with that? You need to know, they understand their platform.
Mm-hmm.
What are they for? Figure that stuff out. You can't have that I ain't studying that shit mentality, and then when something bad happens to you, you like, these are the rules,
Mm-hmm.
and you just reactive to it. That's why I said we gotta get out of this reactive mentality with doing stuff. Um, and most importantly, kind of knowing where you fit in with that.
Mm-hmm.
Where you fit in with that. If you got kids, okay, if you talking, hey, how you reinvest into these schools? What are you doing? How we gonna prevent crime and all that kind of stuff? What are you doing with that? How can I help with that?
Mm-hmm.
People, we in a no snitch society. We ain't seen nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Joker done did all kind of stuff. They robbing, stealing. You ain't telling. It's one thing to not tell. It's a whole another thing not to check.
Right.
I remember one of my cousins got killed, and I remember, again, this is over 20 years ago, so Poochie is a little different thinking Poochie, but I always remember this. If you his buddies, y'all not gonna tell who killed him, and y'all don't kill him, what's the point?
Right.
Again, we again, like if you ain't telling and you ain't doing nothing, I don't see the point.
Mm-hmm.
I was just dumbfounded on that.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all ain't doing nothing, why we having this conversation,
Right.
friends? You know what I'm saying? I was just lost on that. Nobody wanted to say anything, but nobody wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
That's the kind of like the code and all that other stuff. The code is what got your damn neighborhood messed up. Not no white man building no damn high rise out there. That's the
Slick,
code.
Slick say that most people don't understand that the local elections affect them more than the big elections.
People. And the reason why people don't know that because people don't want to. People do not want to try to learn stuff because, like I said again, they don't want to learn because from that point forward, you're gonna be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I keep saying to everybody. Like, look, man, find out what their platform, find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time for all that. I gotta. Okay.
It don't count no way.
Yeah.
It don't matter no way. They
Yeah.
gonna pick who they want. Now, local election a little bit different. Local elections. I heard you'll hear a lot of politicians say all elections are local. So even the big ones are local because you think about how when you want the road fixed in your neighborhood, as you coming down the street, you keep hitting that same pothole. You're not calling the president about that because he don't know where the hell Bankhead Highway at. He don't. For all he know, all city got a Bankhead Highway. So, but that local election, you got to call that local joke and say, hey, there's a 17-foot pothole on Bankhead. I need y'all to fix. I
Yeah.
need y'all to repair that.
I remember this is probably the late 80s, right there at Commodore and Bankhead. That's where I grew up on Commodore Drive. Right there at Commodore Bankhead, where the Kmart was, it's a big, like a opening.
Mhm.
Right? You got Center Hill Park right here. There's a big opening, like a big field. It's always been there. And I think it's what do you call that? Like we got a subdivision where you maybe a couple feet away from the sub, kind of like your sewage thing that goes by every subdivision has that.
The drainage,
It's like the drainage, like but it's like this big open area
retention pond.
retention pond, but it services the whole sub,
Yeah, the
and
retention pond.
with that. So it was kind of like that set right at the corner of Commodore and Bankhead. It's still there, open area.
Mhm.
So it was like maybe the mid to late 80s. I don't know what happened, but they just started dumping trash in there.
In the retention pond.
In the retention pond. I don't know who these folks were.
Right.
They just started dumping trash like it was a straight damn landfill. And out overnight, we had rats and everything in our house and stuff. I remember this, man. And from that point, I mean, the older people, this is my grandparents were probably in their maybe 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and they was going to the city council and going this stuff, and they raised hell. Next thing you know, they cleared it out.
Mm-hmm.
But just to think, they just came in a damn live neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
and just dumped trash. I just remember this shit vividly. If you from the
But
neighborhood,
the
you remember
retention
it.
pond is for the retention pond is to keep the neighborhood from flooding when it rains.
Loud. They came
All
dumping
the overflow goes
loud.
in there.
They came dumping trash. I remember this vividly. This is like mid late 80s.
Uh-huh.
And the community went together. And then from that point forward, I know right there in my street with Commodore, Ashai, and right where that Baker Circle, they had the little neighborhood watch thing.
Mm-hmm.
They formed them. And unfortunately, most of those people that did it, probably over half of them are deceased now.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing that. I know like my grandparents, people next door, come out,
Right.
all of them, even all over the street, most of them are dead. They still have relationships with the little police station,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely not the same. Before I go any further, let me read what Slick saying. A lot of people look for the easy way out and they don't want to put in work. And Slick also said, do you remember the house on the corner of that field that burned down and 3 townhomes they built there? The people tore it up. Exactly. She's talking about that same street.
Right.
Because one side of the street is the houses. I got
Okay.
that fourth house on the right, and the rest of the street on the other side is duplexes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I remember because my partner, they stayed in that house on the end, the one that burned down.
Okay.
And the Levettes, they
Okay.
stayed there in that duplexes. And again, man, you put them folk, man. I already know Slick, man. I mean, shit. Slick, I ain't finna even lie to you. I got a damn tenant from hell over there.
Right.
He just waiting away times before I get, Scott and Jill. Move, moving in.
Right, right.
I ain't doing no affordable housing.
So
Shit.
it's gonna be full price.
Ain't shit affordable about Poochie.
Right.
We ain't shit gonna be affordable about me. But now Slick is talking about that. And like I said, that was, I remember when they did that, man. And again, that was one time the community stood up. But we in a society of no snitching, no telling, no having no relationships with the police until something impacts you.
Right.
Until something impacts you, and then you want to do it. You want to have this police presence, and you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Do the police need to fix a lot of stuff they have internally? Absolutely. But do people need to sit here and kind of take charge of what they own and what they've done? More so.
Hmm.
More so.
It's never. I always say it's never a problem until it's your problem.
Yeah.
So it's never an issue until it's your issue. Nobody wants to. The house is getting broken into next door, and you're not saying nothing about it. But as soon as they break into your house, because it's your turn,
They tripping.
right?
They tripping, and we want to be involved. And unfortunately, we just never. We always stay in that little kind of cycle with it.
Hmm.
And then when the white folks move in, they just start roach killing.
Right.
So they just getting. They don't give a damn.
Right.
They're doing everything. You look at over there, over there on Hollywood Road, Boyd Elementary, Scott Elementary. When you start having the white folks come in, now they have legitimate PTAs
Right.
and all this other kind of stuff. Anybody from Hollywood Road, Johnson Road, and all that stuff, man, it ain't shit, man. Man, I had a friend of mine. They got a house over there on Perry Boulevard, 400 grand.
Mm.
Ain't nowhere in the hell. I'm thinking, I'm thinking Perry Homes. I wouldn't even spend $400. 400 grand.
400 grand.
400 grand. And it's just the whole thing about it. Where you see it ain't worth it.
Mhm.
Other person sees opportunity.
Right. Because if I get 400 grand house, how many more of the houses gonna come up around it? Well, we all gonna be $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. Eventually, like you say, gentrification is gonna push the riffraff out anyway.
Well, and for the simple, you paying that, you got a more concern for your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So shit, they call them police.
The
They
police
have-
presence
yeah.
is more dominant. Over that way
Exactly.
because they are called the police.
And they value it because they put something into it. But
Right.
when you don't value what the hell you got, shit, nobody else is either,
Right.
police included.
Right.
They'll just keep you confined in a particular area
Mm-hmm.
when you don't want. It's that simple.
I mean, think about how they try to do Buckhead. They trying to wall Buckhead off, get their own police force and all that. They trying to wall it off. To me, that's what I think that's what I think they trying to do. But
Well, I don't think it's a thing. I think that is what they're trying to do. It'll be interesting in this next administration, see how that plays out.
mm-hmm.
That is what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Again, I got on me saying ignorant, but or dirty. I got mines, and I take care of mines. But I just think that I just wonder how that's gonna play out.
Mm-hmm. I think if they do get their own police force, this is just my own opinion. We'll go back to what we're talking about. They're gonna have some problems at first because you're gonna get pulled over based on what kind of car you drive. You're gonna get pulled over based on they don't think you're supposed to be in that area. So I think, but they trying to wall that part. They trying to wall that part of the city off.
The way you gotta look at it on the other side of it is too. It's one thing to also try to wall it out, but also got to understand the commerce that you got. If you got a commerce, when I'm talking about just from the business activity, it's one thing to have you got businesses in 80% of your local community dealing with it. The majority are coming from outside of that. They'll usually fix that because at the end of the day, money is money.
Money.
Right. So that's just I'm just speaking in terms of just working county government for 15 years. It'll find some way to work out, but it still goes back to who spend the money over there. Is it people visiting or not? And again, that data is there. Because just because you go there, that don't mean you go there all the time.
Right.
But if the people that live over there are mostly servicing, that's one thing. And for the outside looking in, I think majority of the commerce or business in Buckhead comes from out of Buckhead.
Yeah, I mean, me just being in the shopping center, shopping center real estate. Most of the business in shopping center real estate always wants to be on the busiest road because they know that most of the people driving through may stop in and see what goods and services they have. A lot of times when we do shopping centers, we do a due diligence per capita income, but at the same time, the business wants to be on the busiest street because the people within that neighborhood are not going to be able to sustain that business, especially if you have 5 businesses, 5 restaurants doing exactly just about the same thing. you need outside commerce in order to sustain those businesses. So that part in general is just me being in shopping center management and real estate. I know for a fact that businesses want outside. They know that the walled in Buckhead can't sustain their businesses.
To that point, that's why I said I could see that starting with the hey, the who is this, why you over here type stuff. But that'll correct itself once you start messing with dollars. Again, they usually being right or wrong. Traditionally, that'll get fixed because at the end of the day, I ain't gotta like you, but if I'm getting money from you, I'll adjust. And that's
Mhm.
kind of shit how business goes. You like it or don't like it, right?
Mhm.
So, but the we I introduced the solutions. The first one, education, politics, and third one, going what we talk about now from an economic standpoint. I just don't think how people need to understand how money is distributed in that particular districts. When
Mhm.
like you mentioned earlier, when people paying their property taxes, how much is allocated to the schools? How much is allocated to repairs? How much is
Mhm.
allocated to paying people and stuff? Understanding that,
Mhm.
understanding how that stuff is broken up, and having some kind of voice in that. Again, go to them neighborhood meetings and knowing what's going on. We talking about life after gentrification. Okay, it's happened, but going forward, how you gonna react to
How you gonna
everything?
prevent it from happening again?
Yeah, or getting worse.
And a lot of this stuff is public record. You can pull the city's um expenses.
Nobody want to go. Nobody want to. Nobody want. I'm just saying. Just say that public record expenses.
Mhm.
But we talking about going to your neighborhood meetings, meeting with your city councilman,
Mhm.
and understand how funds are distributed.
Mhm.
People. I'm just saying. I remember early 2000s. I wanted to put that house, make the house into a personal care home,
Mhm.
but it wasn't zoned for that. So I
Mhm.
had to go to the NPU meeting to sit in front of the council. I mean that neighborhood planning unit, and explain to them why because it wasn't zoned, for that how to do it. And I didn't get approved for it.
Mhm.
I understood why, but at that point, within a year, the market got worse. I
Mhm.
just couldn't do it.
Right.
But the process was pretty cut and dry in regards to what you can and can't do. So I want people to have an idea of, from an economic standpoint, knowing how money works, how that stuff works and stuff. We
Right.
start talking about gentrification. Get the hell out of this, the thought process or the mentality of everybody trying to take, not everybody, white folks trying to take stuff from you.
Mhm.
Are they trying to do it? Yeah, probably so. But at the
Right.
end of the day, shit, if I know you try to knock me over the head, I can't just sit here and say they're gonna knock you over the head. They try
Right.
to knock me over the head. You gonna sit here and just
Right.
goddamn, they can hit me, or yeah, go down fight back.
Oh, real quick, while we talking about that, Slick wants to know your opinion on mixed use communities like Perry Homes, townhouses, houses, and apartments in the same area.
I ain't big on it. I ain't
Okay.
big on it because for the simple fact that, call me funny, call me whatever, call me poochie. I just feel like shit. I ain't finna, if I'm gonna be paying all this money, I want to be, shit.
With like-minded folk.
With like-minded folks. I ain't trying to inspire no damn body. That's why I got a YouTube channel.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, again, and that's my opinion. I
Right.
ain't trying to convince no damn body.
Right.
Again, when you start spending your damn coin, it's easy to say that, but I hear the mayors and they say all that kind of shit. Well, hell, move me next door to you.
Right.
And again, I ain't talking about like I'm a bull, nobody, whatever. But the mixed use, I don't know. I didn't say, affordable housing.
Right.
And again, I think we got to get out of this affordable housing term and start speaking in numbers.
So basically, what you saying, you pay $400,000 for a house. You don't necessarily know if you take care of your house and that person who paying $800 for the apartment gonna be the same aspirations. Y'all not gonna have the same aspirations.
I ain't trying to figure out either.
Right.
I ain't trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? And that just it is what it is. I mean, you ask me a question, I give you an answer.
Right. Right. I agree.
Just be real about that. Everybody don't feel the way I feel.
Hmm.
Most time people don't feel that way. That's not in that position.
Hmm.
When we were talking a video about tricking,
Right.
people ain't necessarily if you got the money.
Who says chicken if you
Yeah,
get
yeah, hey man.
it?
You can't say what you wouldn't do if you had that money. You ain't never had that money. How the hell you know what you're gonna do?
Right.
So again, I'm not the biggest proponent for mixed use. I understand theoretically what it is, but on the flip side of it is too, like that doesn't mean a person that's on Section 8 is gonna tear your house up. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that, but I am saying that um, I think that you can get people in nice, very nice living conditions and without having to mix things in. The flip side of it, we've seen this experiment, and I have not seen it where that experiment has worked, where somebody's paying something, and the value of the place doesn't go down because who's staying there. The value goes down because the people that staying there bring effed up ways to
Mm-hmm.
to bring it,
Right.
and the people don't police each other up. That's the issue.
Right.
Again, it's I think less of the income, more of the actual mentality.
Mm-hmm.
With how things go. Is everybody like that? Absolutely not.
Right.
But shit, too much for again, one or two just throw every damn thing off. I don't take one damn person breaking in everybody's car, stealing the catalytic converters, and you ready to go to work, and you
Right.
done got out there.
Yeah, you can't start
Ah,
the
yeah,
car.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Shit.
What bad apple spoiled a
Hey,
bunch, right?
shit, man. And nobody telling who it is. So,
Right.
that was one of the things with that. So my three solutions is get more adapt with educational, political, and economic. Now, with that said again, I am Deontay Burden. You're looking at Change the Life, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Burden. We also stream live on my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. Um, what I want to give now, again, I'm sorry, tonight's show we're talking about um, life after gentrification. And what I want to give now, pretty much my specific feelings on, you know, what the impact of gentrification has done, and I think what people can do moving forward. I gave some solutions, but just more from a personal standpoint, just being real with everybody. And I think a lot of times we got a lot of black folks that are really complaining about what they don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that part that we can look at what's fair and what's not fair, and I never try to put myself and look at everybody. Look at me. I did this. You can do that type of stuff. I feel like Poochie way is because Poochie's Poochie.
Right.
So again, that just it is
That's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
I've been like this. Hey, you can't do Poochie things. You ain't Poochie.
Right. Right.
So, but I will say that I think people are very very uh how can I put it? They're objective to change and understanding that okay, that person got what he got because that person did what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember senior in high school, man, and I kind of effed around my senior year in high school. I ain't got no bad stories, but I definitely didn't perform
Mm-hmm.
up to my best ability. And I remember when I was in the magnet program, financial services magnet program, and I seen everybody was getting they had the 3.5 GPAs
Mm-hmm.
getting the tassels.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like,
Right. Right.
shit, I didn't have no three. I ain't have 3.0. I had all that when I went to college. I
Right.
went to military and college and kind of got matured,
Right.
but I didn't have that, and I was just as smart other kids. And I had my little, I started bitching,
Right.
to my homeroom teacher was in charge. He was in charge of the man program. I was like, damn, Mr. Shingles, why the hell everybody don't get a tassel? Been there 4 years in the program.
Right.
Oh, I should get one too. And one of my classmates, OG Rock, he said, man, why don't you quit damn whining? They damn worked and they earned it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they damn tassel.
Right.
I didn't like what he said, but I respected it.
Right.
And so I say this to say that a lot of times we see what lab has, this person, that person have, but we don't want to respect that
But
they
they.
did things differently
Mm-hmm.
to be able to be where they at. And I
Right.
think that until we start looking at things like that, we got to do certain things or maintain certain levels to do to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people really we like doing a lot of acknowledging,
Mm-hmm.
observing, stating instead of a lot of doing and correcting. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I think once we get out of that, we'll be okay. Um, it's one thing saying, okay, well, these folk come to the country, they don't pay no taxes and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, go to the library, go find out what all you can take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, there are
You don't even have
opportunities.
to go to the library now.
Well, what I'm saying, Google whatever you want to do, but
Right.
at the end of the day, learn what you can take advantage of to do that. But we don't want to do that. Why? Because from that point, we know what to do. We can be held accountable. Um, you got to be realistic. What's possibly fixed, what can't be fixed. But also, what we talk about being comfortable, being uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
being okay with if I got to do certain things to get my community the way it needs to be. I got to sit up here all night. I got to go mail these folks, call these folks, and do certain things. Be okay with that
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, your home is yours.
Right.
And if you got to call folks and put them to task and everything, keep in mind, I am not ignorant. I am not going to sit here and say that you ain't got no politicians or people or powers that be in certain positions that do shit unfair. I'm not finna sit here and act like I don't know. I'm not finna act like that doesn't happen. and people backdoor you and do all kind of crooked stuff. God knows I know, but I do know that, and I think a lot of times they can do one or two things that can be very, very impactful on you. But at the end of the day, can we say on the other side that people did everything they could on the front end, not the back end after something bad happened, to kind of stop things from happening? And I don't think that's the case a lot of times. I think far too often we wait for somebody to come by and fix shit and do things a certain way. And while we're waiting, all other kind of stuff is happening, like missed opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
missed things that we can do, and we missing deadlines and stuff like that because we waiting on this damn Messiah to happen. And then, lastly, man, I just think that you wait too late.
Mm-hmm.
You wait too late. Now everybody want to get in real estate and buying properties. Properties, shit, probably 200% overvalued and everything. Now you want to get into flipping and investing, and it's not the case now. And your opportunity to do certain things may be in a whole nother lane with something else, but you got to stop waiting.
Mm.
You know, what was that back in the 90s when they were selling all them houses? Was that Cabbage Town?
I
It was
wasn't here back then, so I
no,
can't.
it was back in I know Slick no, but that was Cabbage Town or all that neighborhood up by the Meadows, well, Jose Boulevard, or that Second Avenue. I forgot the name. They changed to Jose Williams. I forgot the name of it before then. But they had all them houses. They were selling for like $100,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the early '90s. And the wife of one of them bought all them houses up, and these
Mm.
houses were like shotgun. This over there, this in East Atlanta.
Okay.
When they were getting ready to close all the projects, all them houses up by the Meadows, and they were selling that whole community. Them houses were going for like $100. You just had to stay there. You couldn't be an investor. And them white folks moved all in. And so
Oh.
if you go into that area now,
Mm-hmm.
East Atlanta, Edgewood, Cabbage Town, and all that, Reynolds Town, and all that stuff, my God, they took all them little bungalow houses, and them houses worth three, four, $500,000 now.
Wow.
And if you were there and you didn't take advantage of it,
Who fault is that?
who fault is that?
Right.
Again, but a lot of times say, well, they didn't know. They didn't know. Well, how don't you know? How don't you know? And the reason why I say how don't you know, when you see smoke, you got ideas what? Fire. When you get, when you feel water coming on your head, you know what? It's probably gonna start raining.
Mm.
And the more you don't want to acknowledge what's coming or what's happening, shit, who fault is it? And I just think a lot of times people don't want to take that step to find out what's going on or what's happening. And we got to just be realistic with ourselves about, hey, man, what can I do? Like, can I challenge myself? Can I hold myself accountable for doing certain things? You feel me?
Right. Right.
But, man, I feel pretty good about the discussion we had tonight. I appreciate everybody tuned in. Got the floor open before we start shutting it down. Anybody got any questions about anything? See anything lay up? None on there.
Nothing over there. You know they come in tomorrow, live tomorrow.
Nah, it's cool. But listen, man, I just want to tell everybody I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to both of the YouTube channel, Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deontay Bird, and also Mr. Short Dollar. We've had a great show tonight. We were talking about, life after gentrification. I hope we had a good discussion. We kind of opened up some ears, opened up some minds with that. But guys, make sure again go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you join the email list so I can start sending you guys information regarding, especially with the tax preparation and everything. But listen, guys. From the bottom of my heart, again, I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We'll be back with Mr. Short Dollar next week. We'll have an awesome show. We got videos still coming down the pike. A lot of great information. A lot of good stuff for you guys. Get ready for the revamp, changing lives, starting next year and stuff. Take care of yourself, guys. Love you guys. Be safe and talk to you soon.